So Meta was involved in a lawsuit. There was a bunch of states that were suing this federal lawsuit against Meta, basically saying that you guys have harmful and were aware of harmful practices when it came to basically addicting kids to Facebook and Instagram.
Right.
And
the business model was to
addict kids to your product. And so that was saying that, because it's addictive and these kids are, on these platforms, there's all these mental health problems that are now associated with your product because of the usage for these kids. So Meta has settled for, I think the max they said they can settle for was it 16.7, something like that?
17.1 billion.
17.1 billion. Okay. Do you think this is going to have a huge effect on Meta, or is this going to be, let's see here, is this going to be just kind of a bump in the road?
That's a great question, because when I first saw the number and heard the story this morning, $17.1 billion, that's a parking ticket to Meta.
You think so?
They make that, and that's their profit margin for about a month. So maybe 6 weeks, I heard this morning.
Jeez.
Right? So my question then was, what else came in the settlement?
Addiction's a good business.
It's a great business to be in.
It's crazy.
So my thought was, okay, what other concessions did these 47 states plus the District of Columbia who were involved in this suit, what other concessions did Meta agree to? Because they were suing for like $200 billion, I think it was, the number that they were seeking in damages.
They settled for a tenth?
$17 billion. Well, you don't have to go to trial. But there's no, with all settlements, no admission of guilt on Meta's part, which kind of prohibits or limits their liability in future.
But they do have to agree to make some changes to the platform.
Right, that's what I was asking. What are they going to change? They're going to restrict, and Nate mentioned this in the newscast too, restrict teenage users to 2 hours a day on their platforms.
It's insane.
They're going to stop any use between midnight and 6 a.m. Absent parental consent.
Can we pause on these for just a second?
Sure, because this is the meat of it.
I'd like to double click on that for half a second.
Thank you.
Number one, limit them to 2 hours on these platforms.
Right.
What kind of time do these kids have where they got 2 hours to spend on, this is just one of the sites. There's a lot of different social media sites.
Right.
If your kid is spending 2 hours on any of these social media sites, run in the opposite direction. Well, it's not good.
Isn't the average 6 though?
I think it is something. I mean, I think for what was it for the teen girls? It was like 7 on TikTok or something like that.
Daily. And if these restrictions go over to their other platforms, Snapchat, TikTok, YouTube, they'll also be beneficial to teens. But and also they're going to limit push notifications or disable push notifications to teenagers during the school days. 8 a.m. to 3 p.m., which is helpful, right? Mm-hmm. All this is helpful.
Yeah.
To me, it's they're selling smaller bags of dope. I mean, I'm sorry, but if you, because they're not changing the way they do business. The business model is to entrap people, ensnare people, addict people, right? And so, okay, you're only addicting for 2 hours a day instead of 6. You're still feeding people.
Addicting.
Yeah, you're still addicting. Thank you.
Yeah.
You're not changing your algorithm or your business model, which we know was predatory. It was inside their internal documentation. Was that they used mechanisms that were addicting to young minds, and they were warned by insiders. These were addicting young minds, and they said, well, our business model is to do this, so we're not going to make these changes because our business is to be in business and make money. So this is such not enough, in my mind, for the problem facing this next generation of social media use and all the negative effects of that. I mean, you guys are taking a stand in your home against your kids being on social media.
You're not allowed to have phones.
That is commendable.
No social media, no phones.
That's commendable, dude. And I mean, you see places like Australia, which is banning any social media accounts under 16.
Yeah.
France, I think, are doing it, but there's a pushback from the courts. They're challenging its legality to ban 16-year-olds and under from having social media accounts. I mean, Meta's not going to change the way they do business, just how much of it they release on the public.
It's interesting. I mean, it's a small percentage of, like you said, it's a small percentage of what they were.
It's a parking ticket, man.
What's interesting about this is I do feel like the big headline for inside Meta that they're probably freaking out about is this is tantamount to an admission of guilt. Other people, I'm sure there's 1,000 other lawsuits that are already in the pipeline, or they're already like just teed up, ready to go. If they settle for $16.7 billion. I mean, I can't imagine that they're not going to have to pay out a lot of other lawsuits over time. And if you become like the target that's easy to hit, that everybody suddenly can get money out of, that business model gets tricky. investment in
Yeah.
that business, growth in that business gets tricky. Now, they're already so huge that maybe that's not a huge concern for them.
Cost of doing business.
What I'm hoping is that parents will wake up and you go, why are you letting your kids on this? Like the number one thing that freaks me out, it's not the addiction part of it as much. The fact that like whatever is built in to keep kids swiping. That's not the problem that I have with it. The problem that I have with it is you are giving someone else who is not you influence over your children's lives. And there's nothing more precious in this world than your kids. And you don't know who these psychos might be. They might just be bad actors. They might be people who have horrible intents, who are just trying to like get close to kids and teach them horrible things. Like, I don't know. I mean, it's like, it's bad stuff. And so as a parent,
It might just be the kid you didn't want your kid playing with in the neighborhood.
I mean, it's all of that.
The spectrum of potential danger.
But imagine
and harm
1,000 of those kids that you don't want your kids playing with, all having direct input into your kid's life in a way that's like the delivery mechanism is so effective because it's bright and shiny and it comes with a face
and they gear
emoji.
it to send the worst people to your kid. They're bussing in bad friends to your kid's neighborhood. You know, with the way they do business.
It's horrible.
Their algorithms that what they steer to.
You're right. It's like they're bringing kids to your neighborhood that you do not want your kids playing with.
Seriously. And again, they're going to just limit how many hours a day they sell dope to your kid. I apologize. That's a bad analogy.
What? Like, I hope that parents approach this the same way that they would smoking. Like, it's illegal to, you can't if you're under 18. Is it 18?
18.
Is it 21 now? It might be 21 in Washington State.
Good question. It might be 21, but I think if you're old enough to vote, join the Army, you're going to get a cigarette. Might be.
Can you look that up, Laura? What's the age of smoking in Washington? For some reason, I thought it was 21. I thought it was the same as alcohol.
It ought to be 70. It ought to be 70. If you want to start smoking,
is it 21?
It is 21.
It's 21.
It used to be 18. Now it's 21.
Okay, so
as of 2020.
Thanks, tobacco.
As of 2020.
Thanks, COVID.
Yeah, right.
It's obviously possible that kids could still find their way to a cigarette. They can still find a cigarette.
Yeah, absolutely.
And what I'm hoping is that parents, just like they'll still be able to find their way to these stupid social media sites, I'm hoping that parents go like, hey, you know what? Let's explain to the kids why this is so bad. Yeah. So that it becomes like, smoking really has it's persona non grata. I never see people smoking anymore. When I was growing up, like everybody I knew smoked. Everyone.
I found a cigarette machine in a business. I mean, there was actually I hadn't seen one in 20 years.
And it was an operation?
Oh, yeah.
It's definitely getting popular again.
Smoking?
What? Yeah, among like Gen Z, because first there were the vapes, right? So everybody was vaping, and that was the new thing. And now everyone's addicted, and now it's sort of cool and a little more unique to smoke an actual cigarette.
I guess if bell bottoms are.
That's right, big pants and smoking. I will say, though, in full honesty, like when you see it in old movies.
Smoking?
They do make it look very cool.
It looks cool.
It looks cool. You're like, yeah, James Dean's a pretty cool looking dude.
Yeah, you're right.
He drives fast cars. Yeah. Doesn't end up well.
It's like, I'm sorry to laugh.
Fun while it lasted.
Yeah, but it's like
coolest person ever.
Yeah,
they gotta. Well,
your point about
they gotta get social media to look dorky.
But just your point about thousands of lawsuits coming in the pipeline, you're not wrong, man. And I think one of the reasons they don't change their business model, how they do business. Is because that would admit that they were doing something that they knew was wrong, and that would open them up to even probably more litigation down the road.
But they are changing. They do have, as part of this, they do have to change part of their business.
But just the hours of operation.
Yeah.
Right?
Again, but that's admitting. They're not paying $17 billion because they're saying we're doing it right.
Well, and G brought up something, because G and Ursula talked about this, and G brought up something too. This is great, we're protecting the kids, but a lot of you, me, and the other adults in the room are also addicted to this and subjected to the ways they.
We all got to unplug.
Absolutely,
all of us.
And they feed me. We talk about our feeding times coming up. I have to make a conscious effort not to be angered every day because of this thing in my hand.
Heck yeah,
every day, and they're purposefully.
And you're a grown adult.
Yeah.
You and I have nearly fully functioned medulla oblongatas, but these kids.
Yeah, I dare to dream.
They don't.
They don't. And it's clay, and we're just shooting bullets at it.